Namor is coming to the MCU. It's been rumored for a while, but finally confirmed this weekend at San Diego Comic-Con that Namor is going to be in Wakanda Forever. And as you can tell, I'm pretty excited. I think he's one of the most fun characters in comics because he's one of the original tweeners where he's gone back and forth between being on the side of the good guys at times and then on the side of the bad guys at times. And I think that just makes him really fascinating. And so I'm super excited to see what they do with him in the MCU. Hello everyone, my name is Michael here with Wahoo Comics, and today we have another Character Keys video where I'm going to be talking about 5 different Namor keys at 5 different price levels, so that if you love this character as much as I do, you can find a book to add to your collection no matter what your budget is. So let's get into it. All right, well, number one, if I had $5 to spend, I would be looking to pick up a copy of Avengers number 262, which is when Namor joins the Avengers. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, his character has a history of going back and forth between being a good guy or a bad guy. And I think my theory in the MCU is that he's going to start off kind of as a bad guy, an antagonist to the Wakandans. But I think even by the end of the movie, he's going to flip the script and join the side of angels and maybe kind of join the Wakandans. My guess is like Atuma is going to be too aggressive and just barbaric or something, and they're going to unite. And this is going to lead to Namor becoming a good guy in the MCU. And if he does that, then eventually that might mean he joins the new Avengers team that develops. Now, who knows if that happens, but if it does, this book will certainly climb in value. But even if it doesn't, it's a cool one to add to your collection for a number of reasons. First of all, it contains a cool battle cover between Namor and Hercules, who, without going into too many spoilers, is another character that seems to have some destiny in the MCU, and so maybe we see them clash at some point, and that would bring more interest in this issue. And also, it's just part of a Marvel Legacy run. Avengers title, and so anytime you can find a book to fill one of those legacy runs, they're going to be safe investments in terms of just gradually growing over time, and you'll be able to find someone looking to fill the hole. You might not make like massive returns, but yeah, you'll make something over time. But in the meantime, you can just have a cool book in your collection. All right, well, number 2, if I had $10 to spend, I don't know what book I would get. Actually, there's a lot at this dollar amount that I think you could go with. But I think because of the hype of the trailer and seeing the Wakandans and Namor and his people getting ready to do battle, I'm going to pick New Avengers number 7, which is when Wakanda declares war on Atlantis for the first time after Namor floods Wakanda. And it's going to be interesting, just as a side note, it seems from the rumors that Namor is not actually going to be part of Atlantis, but kind of a similar culture and Mayan folklore. And so basically the same thing is going to happen. Wakanda is going to go to war with this underground, or I guess underwater civilization. And so this is the book where that happens for the first time, where that war is officially declared by Wakanda on the Atlanteans. And it also contains a cool Namor Black Panther battle cover. Like I've talked about, I always love these battle covers, and so the first 2 picks have those. All right, well, if I had $25 to spend, I would be looking to get a pretty nice copy of Supervillain Team Up number 1. Now, as I mentioned again at the beginning of the video, Namor goes back and forth between being a good guy and a bad guy. And something interesting is that he was actually part of the first ever supervillain team up in Marvel Comics history when he teamed up with Doctor Doom way back in Fantastic Four issue number 6. Now, that book is a lot more expensive than $25. And so if you like that team up, I think this is a good runner-up to that. It proved to be such a popular team up that Marvel gave them their own series here in the 1970s, where, I don't know, it didn't last maybe a couple of years, where they and them teaming up is the central focus of the series. And so I think it's a neat book to pick up if you like Namor, and for a few other reasons. Number one, if you know me, I collect Doom covers, and this is a really nice Doom cover, even though it also has Namor underneath, doing some battle with some different figures, and also it's just a #1 issue from the Bronze Age, and it's just a very unique idea. I don't know if it's the first. If anybody knows different, tell me below. But it's obviously one of the first where the title is centered around villains. Did that ever happen before? I don't know. So tell me below if you know. But anyway, for that reason, it's pretty cool. All right, for the next book on our list, we're going to take quite a big jump in price. Namor is kind of interesting when it comes to looking for keys, because you have a lot that are in this kind of $25 for a decent copy and under, or then you have like really expensive books. There's not a lot in between. There's not a lot you can find at $100 or $200 or something like that. And so I'm going to take quite a big jump and go to Submariner #1, which is his first solo series from the Silver Age. And you can pick up a pretty nice mid-grade copy of this for about $350. So again, quite a big jump. But if you've watched my videos, you know something that I always talk about is how once people get priced out of the first appearance of characters, then they go on to start looking to buy their solo series. And so I think this is a great book to pick up that fills that role, obviously. And as well, it also has a very cool John Buscema cover, and it also contains Namor's origin. So a great book to pick up. And this will kind of lead me to the Grail. Like I said, this was the Silver Age solo series. There is a solo series that from the Golden Age, which was the Submariner Comics #1, along with his actual first appearance of the Golden Age, which is Motion Picture Funnies Weekly #1. But I'm not going to talk about those books too much because they're both like tens of thousands of dollars, and you can like hardly ever even find them. They don't really even come up for sale hardly at all. So for all our intents and purposes, yeah, those books exist, but probably no one is going to ever have a copy, that's watching this video. But for the Grail, and this certainly, again, it's not a cheap book, but it is at least attainable. If you save up or work hard, or you just have a really great job or something like that, it is an attainable one. And this is Namor's first appearance in the Silver Age, which is Fantastic Four #4. And again, a pricey book. Even in low grade, it's probably going to cost you $3,000 or so to get a nice low grade copy. But it is, I would say, his Grail, again, for books that are at least somewhat reasonable for someone to pick up. And the book also is cool because it contains this cool cover where he's carrying away Sue Storm, and this becomes kind of a story between him and the Fantastic Four. He really desires to marry Sue Storm, and of course Reed Richards loves her before they're married, and creates this tension. And anyway, I think this cover is really cool and draws that out. And as an added bonus, it's also the first time the Human Torch says "flame on" as he ignites. So not only is it a cool book to pick up if you're a Submariner fan or Namor fan, but also for a Human Torch fan. Now, you'd have to be a pretty big Human Torch fan to spend thousands of dollars just to pick it up for that reason. But it's a nice little bonus. Alright, now I always like to end these videos by showing off one of these keys that I recently bought and have added to my collection. So which one was it? Well, it's this, Submariner #1, which is his first solo series from the Silver Age. I'm super excited to have this book. It's one that I've actually been hunting for months, especially because I thought Namor was going to be coming to the MCU, and so I wanted to get it sooner rather than later. And I almost pulled the trigger on a copy about a half a year ago, but I couldn't quite do it at the price the guy was asking. And so I was kind of bummed about that, but then I found someone else selling this copy, which is a very beautiful, nice mid-grade copy, at a pretty good price. And I thought about getting it, and again, I couldn't quite pull the trigger. I was closer on this one than that other one. But then I found out the seller had another kind of big key that I might show off in another video at some point, along with a couple other smaller keys. And so I reached out to him about buying all of them, and he offered to give me a 20% discount on his asking price if I were to pick them all up. And so, man, that sounded good to me, and so I jumped on it. Super excited to now add this book to my collection. Not only is it his first solo series, it also contains his origin and this classic John Buscema cover. And I'll show you one of the smaller books that I got from the seller because it does tie into Namor, and it's this one, number 23, which contains the first appearance of Orca, one of the main villains from his Rogues Gallery. So I'm super excited to have that. Super excited that Namor is coming to the MCU. Down in the comments below, tell me what you think about Namor, or maybe what is an announcement that came out this weekend, San Diego Comic-Con, that you're excited about. There's certainly plenty to be excited about, perhaps even more than Namor. Maybe I'm excited that Kang is clearly going to be the big bad of this second trilogy in the MCU, as we're going to get an Avengers Kang Dynasty movie. I thought he was the big bad, but it's clear that that is the case now. So comment below, tell me about that. Like the video. Of course, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate if you consider doing that. Once we get to 400 subscribers, we'll be doing another giveaway. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. And look forward to the next one.